10th and 12th at the Majlis Park. The 5th camp is in Kalyanpuri, and the 6th camp is at a place called Mukundpur. Then on the 14th, we together celebrate Independence Day. We are having a cultural evening, and past President Sunita Trivedi is organizing an amazing cultural event. I'm sure all of us are going to enjoy that. On 19th, we have a special speaker meeting where we get to hear Kapil Dev and interact with him. And we also celebrate Nabha ma'am's birthday on that day. So that's going to be a really special and a rocking day. 28th, we again have a speaker meeting. And that's about it for the month. We'll announce the September programs by next week, by the next speaker meeting. Over to Nabha ma'am, please.
Thank you, Tenebra Sharma. Very nice of you. Dear members, today we are proud to have our speaker, Mrs. Kanchan Rai, address our club. Kanchan Rai is a mental wellness coach who teaches ways to combat depression and help overcome mental trauma. A Harvard Business School graduate, Kanchan Rai has made it her aim in life to help those to open up and accept the problem. She has been actively talking to people from all walks of life about the issues they have faced and what it took to overcome them. Her organization, Let Us Talk, works tirelessly in bringing out stories of people and celebrities as well who have conquered mental illness and bounced back to life. Being a health and a wellness coach, Mrs. Kanchan Rai, through her organization Let Us Talk, aims at making people realize that mental health is as important as physical health, and timely intervention can be extremely beneficial. It is their endeavor to make our society realize that mental health issues are serious concerns that can be treated rather than brushing them under the carpet. About the foundation, Mrs. Kanchan Rai, pleased to say that she is the founder of this foundation, Let Us Talk. They try to create awareness about the importance of mental health, and our mental wellness coaches help people every negativity on your path to success. They want to provide people with the tools and strategies needed to overcome limiting beliefs and fears on their way to realizing who they are and accomplishing their goals and achieving success thereby. Stress, anxiety, and other negative thoughts are real and are always caused by emotional and psychological drivers. Not understanding how these drivers work would leave us at their mercy. However, everyone has the ability to overcome these negative drivers and realize their potential, as well as live a fruitful, productive, wealthy, and a happy life. Their main goals are to help people with mental wellness via their live sessions from the intellectuals belonging to different industries and niches. They try to help people in their mental wellness activities and to reach their goals. The second goal is how to fill their minds with positive vibes. By the live sessions, they want people to achieve the peak of positiveness and forget all the depressions, negative vibes. And I would like to now actually especially give it over to our prestigious honorable speaker to please continue with her address to our club. Over to Mr. Kanchan Rai, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a lovely introduction. And before proceeding, I would like to congratulate to you because the kind of work right now I saw, like you have done a tremendous job. So please accept my gratitude for it. And as you rightly said about mental health, so I'm sure many of you must be aware about this term, and specifically right now during this pandemic or during this lockdown, the word mental health has been echoing around all of us because for one or other way, even WHO has given a very strict warning considering about awareness of mental health and how people are actually playing with their mental health in terms of getting inside a place which is very isolated, not going out, not meeting friends. So these triggers have actually pushed us to a to a point where it becomes extremely important for all of us to take care of our mental health. So yes, this is about I'm sure like this is a very simple thing everyone must be aware of. But now we talk about the awareness. Why is this awareness required? Like, most of us talk about mental health awareness. Mental health awareness is required. We should do that. We should do that. But, there is always a question about why this awareness is so important. Why you have to be so content on why you have to be so particular about spreading the word and what is the need of awareness of this thing. It's like if we have to take care of physical health, why we are not taking care of our mental health as well. So this is a very prominent, a very typical question which I come across these days, like, because of the situation and because of so many things happening around us, because of so many suicides being committed. So, the importance of awareness is very simple. It's because awareness eliminates the stigma for the people of if we are aware about the limitation and strength, so stigma may disappear. So, it's like the more we'll talk, the more we'll share, and the more we'll express ourselves, it'll become very easy for us to relate. Like if a person who is being through the whole process in which he feels isolated, he feels depressed, he gets in anxiety attacks, and but he's not able to share it up because he thinks like these things are only limited to me, and I can't talk about it because of the society pressure, or because of the pressure he being judged, or because of anything, like because these things are still taboo in our society. We have to accept that. So the more we'll try to create awareness about it, the lesser the stigma will be about it. So it's always important, and that is the reason, like the awareness is very much required. So next thing, if I have to talk about what is exactly mental health, it's not about you getting into a zone where you go to a psychiatrist and you are given a mental therapy or you are given shocks and all. That is not at all that is like a worst part of a mental health. So there is again too much of misconception about mental health as well. So if we get something, we start doubting our own self, we start doubting our own potential. There is a voice in our mind who is constantly pushing you back rather than pulling you ahead to do something. That is also a part of mental health, where we start doubting our own caliber. Then we have mood disorders, like sometimes we are in a very good mood, sometimes we are in a very bad mood. That is absolutely normal. But if that thing keeps on happening for a very long time, like you don't feel good, or you don't feel happy about what you are doing for a very long time, that could be a part of your mental health problem which we need to address. And then there is a personality disorder, like we are something else in front of our people, we are something else in front of our society, but deep inside, or when we are lonely, we are something else. And we are in a zone which is not a very good zone, and we are like just doing things for the sake of other people. So that is also a part of mental stigma which should be addressed and which should be eliminated. And this is only possible if we'll talk about it, if we'll keep on questioning ourselves, if we'll keep on pushing ourselves to know more about what is happening. You all must be aware, like being me and being with yourself is extremely important. And I'm sure like most of us are taking care of our physical health, like propping a maintain or maintaining a proper schedule where you eat a proper diet, we go to gym, we do yoga. But at the same time, keeping the me factor, like me inside me, or the one which is original me, to take care of that thing is equally important. And that is a problem, like we don't take care of inside, or we don't take care of actual me inside us. And that is when, there are so many mental health problems are rising up, and there are so many like doubts about your own self, and personality disorders comes up. So it's a very simple thing, like the more you will take care of yourself, like inner self, the happier you will be, and the happier you will be, the far the mental disorders or the mental health problems will be. So I know this might sound very simple, and this might sound very very easy and achievable task for many of us, but it is extremely difficult for a person who is going through this trauma. And if you feel like, a person nearby you or a person who you are surrounded with is having any kind of trauma, please don't hesitate and be there for him or her. So this is what a brief or a rough explanation about mental health and awareness, and what it is important for. So if I have to talk about more detailedly, the second thing which I come across, or the most of the people, they talk about how do we realize that we actually are under a situation where our mental health is not in a good shape, or we really need to do something to take care of our mental health. So there are certain points which we have to take care. Like as I was saying earlier, general mood swings are obviously quite common, and they are quite natural for us, every one of us. But if you see that these mood swings are actually getting for a very longer time, like if you are feeling bad, or if you are feeling sad, or if you are feeling lonely for 1 day or 2 days, is absolutely fine, because it's a human nature. But if you feel that the same feeling continues for a longer run, like more than 2 days or 3 days, then you have to figure out, like, what was the trigger behind that mood swing, or what was the trigger behind that feeling. So we have to address that. And if you really feel that you are not able to do it, you can actually ask for the help. So this is the first factor. Second factor, which is very common, is about day-to-day activities. Like a person who is on a regular diet suddenly stops eating, or he suddenly starts eating too much, and that also continues for a longer time. That is also an indication where we have to figure out, like, why this thing is happening. And the same thing is about the sleep as well. If we see a person who is having a proper sleep, suddenly his sleep patterns are changing, he sleeps too much, or he doesn't sleep at all. So this is also a point which is to be considered, like there is something not wrong inside, and there is something which needs to be treated, or there is something which needs to be addressed. So these are small things which, if taken notice or if taken care of, can actually save us from getting into a darker zone or a deeper zone. So this is a very small and composite description about mental health, if I have to say. So now coming back to you guys, like I'm sure there must be many things, and there must be many questions which are there in your mind, considering about what exactly needs to be done, or how how what should be done. So if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Kanchanji, good evening. This is Vivek Kataria.
Hello, Kataria sir.
That was very interesting. Question that I have is, you talked about obviously mental health and the importance of it, and of course how the sad part of it or the difficult part of it is going to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, etc., etc. But and you've talked about the pointers to mental health. The question is, what's the good part of it? How do we take care of our mental health? Specifically, what do we do to better take for physical health? We know we can do some exercises, we can do yoga, whatever. What do we do to either improve our mental health ourselves, or do we need to go to somebody if we feel that we are not able to take care of it? What do we do? What are you suggesting?
See, if you have to take care of mental health, it's a very simple thing, a small thing. Like, start spending time with your own self. I was saying, the me inside me is equally important, the me which is outside. So the more you will take care of me inside me is going to help you to keep your mental health at a very good level. But still, if you feel that something is wrong, then you may start sharing. Like the more you will talk about it, the more you will try to speak about it, the more you will try to vent out about it, it will become very easy for you to take care of mental health. So I'm not saying that you should start, if you feel that you are not feeling good for some time, you go to a psychiatrist immediately. That would be the last thing for anyone to do. before going to a psychiatrist, you can actually start evaluating yourself, that what was the thing which has triggered me, or what was the thing which I'm not liking it. And once you figure out that this is the thing I'm not liking it, try to talk it, try to resolve it, and try to address it, and don't try to escape from it. The more you will escape, the more trigger it will create, and the more worsen the situation will be. So simple thing is like, just talk it, vent it, and speak it out. This is the first and a very basic and a very simple funda for anyone to keep their mental health at a very stronger level. So if you feel that you are not able to figure out what is bothering you, then maybe you can talk to a person who is very close to you, and he or she knows you so well. Then it'll very easy for them to figure out, like, if this is not a thing which has bothered you, maybe this, maybe that. And he or she has to figure out, like, what was the real reason for the trigger that has happened. Once you are able to figure out the trigger, then it's a very easy task. But until and unless you don't figure out what is the reason for your exact trigger, try to explore it, try to understand it. If a person who is living with you, maybe your wife, maybe your mother, maybe your sister, is not able to figure out, try to go and talk to someone who is equally close to you, and who is totally unbiased to whatever you are saying or whatever you are trying to figure out. Maybe a friend, or maybe a companion, or anyone else. And still, if you feel that things are not getting better, you can talk to a counselors, because they are trained in a way that they can actually judge, or they can actually figure out what is the real cause of that trigger which is bothering you. So yeah, once you figure out the trigger, then, as I said, it's very easy and a very simple thing to go ahead. What would be the next course of action? And yes, most importantly, please take care of me inside me, which is very, very important. And that you can do by spending time with yourself, spending your me time, doing things which you like, talking things which you like, indulging into activities which you always wanted to do. That's a very simple thing.
So, Kanchan, hi, this is Deepak Verma. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hello.
I have two questions to ask you. One is, I often hear this phrase, well-being. So, please explain to me your understanding of the term well-being. The second
Well-being,
question I have
yeah.
is, when do you go to a clinical psychologist as opposed to going to a psychiatrist? Are these two complementary or supplementary? And when would you know which is the right approach for you when you have a problem?
The term well-being is very much, similar to what it actually is sounding like. If we talk about the real meaning of well-being, it's about how well content you are, like how well content you are within yourself. In terms of mental health, I'm talking, because well-being can be related to many different things and various aspects as well. So if we talk about mental health, the word well-being is absolutely measured with the content. The content you are inside you, and how content you feel within yourself and being with yourself. So if I have to talk, like, I have seen people, those who are uh, perfectly all right, but if you talk to them and ask them to spend some time with themselves without being disturbed, or just doing whatever they like, they start panicking. They get into a zone which is called an anxiety. They don't understand what is to be done, and it's very scary for them to be with themselves. So that is like the lack of content, and that is like absolutely opposite of well-being. So same way, if a person who is ready to accept and who is ready to spend time with him or herself, and who is not scared to spend time with him or herself, and who is like willing to spend time with him or herself, is a person who is content enough, is a person who is well-being enough in terms of the mental health. Second thing, you're talking about what is the right time to go to a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist. So that thing depends from a person to person. Like, as I said, there are various stages which you can follow. But if you feel that you are drastically going into a zone, like, none of these activities or none of these series of actions are working to you, and you are feeling more drowned, or you are feeling more into a zone which is a darker zone where you don't understand anything, and the only thought which comes to your mind is end everything, and I am better doing nothing rather than ending my life. That is like, if you are feeling that kind of a situation, that is like the worst situation, and you should immediately consult to a clinical help, or you can actually rush to take for clinical help. And before that, if you feel that, you know, there are people who get anxiety attacks where they don't understand what is happening near to them. They are just in a zone, like which is like shivering to them, which is like hindering to them, which is like, you know, which is like very traumatic for them, and they don't understand what is happening with the brain. They don't understand what is happening with the emotions. They are like absolutely emotionless. They are absolutely blank in the terms of
Yes, sir.
uh,
देखिए कौन है हमारे पास कौन बैठा हुआ है
sorry, was it a question?
Hello, did somebody ask a question? Hello?
No, Deepak says something, I believe.
Okay. Deepak ji, you have a question?
His audio is like, he's muted, I believe.
Yeah, Kanchan, I have a question. This is Pragyan Sharma. Now, I'm asking this question in the context of Sushant Singh's suicide. Now, we have throughout seen a lot of celebrities going ahead and taking that extreme steps. Now, why does it happen so often with mostly people like in the celebrity? Is it that we hear the news more, or is it something for real? They suffer depression, anxiety more than people like us who have a normal kind of a life.
If
before he answered the question, he was here, and then he.
Rajiv, will you please mute everybody else?
At least he pressed it after that. Okay. Okay.
so, if let me complete my previous answer first, because I think I left it in between. So it was about taking a clinical help. I was saying, like, you know, once you get that panic attacks, I was talking about the panic attacks. So that is the position where you don't understand what is happening. Like, there is no sync between your physical health and there is no sync between your emotional health. So that is the time, like, you know, you have to rush to for a help immediately. But before that, there are so many signs, and there are so many triggers, or there are so many indications given by our own body where we have to understand, and we have to take note of it. Like, this is what is happening to me, and maybe this could result to something which is very drastic, or something which I don't want to, or no one will want to go into. So yeah, please take care of small things before they get into they turn out to be a very big issues. Like, as I was saying, please don't hide your feelings, don't hide your emotions. Don't escape with whatever you are going, and don't feel shy from seeking a help, because, you know, people, the biggest mistake while the whole episode is done, the biggest mistake which is committed is not seeking a help, thinking about what people would think, how I'll be judged, whether I'll be considered as a mental person, or whether I'll be considered a person who is, like, you know, mentally disturbed or distracted. So you have to keep all these things aside. Even if you feel that there is something which is very minor and which is affecting you very badly, try to seek help immediately, because these are the things which we can't leave as it is. You know, if we are getting hurt, physically hurt, we don't leave it because it is going to hurt on its own. We go to doctor, we take advice, we go to we go for first aid. So these are, like, you know, these all are like criteria, like first aid and proper diagnosis, and then about the treatment and going to a specialist. So these all things, if I talk about mental health, this thing exactly goes as per your physical health. So we have to distinguish it, and we have to take a call on our own, what and which thing is going to suit me best. And if you are not able to take a call, please give authority to a person whom you trust completely to take a call on your behalf, and don't interfere, and don't try to put more into it, because, or don't try to resist whatever is happening. Just accept the way things are coming up. So I hope I am clear with the answer asked by you. And continuing with, we were talking about celebrities and their suicide. So, you know, the celebrities or simple person, they have the same stigma. They go through the same process. It's like, if you are a person who is non-celebrity, and still you can have mental health issues. The same thing goes with the celebrities as well. But the thing is that they can't come in public, they can't talk in public, and they can't address these things openly due to their reputation, which is again a very wrong thing. I always keep on saying that whether a person is a celebrity or no, but end of the day we all are humans and we need to address our problems and we need to take assistance and we need to speak about it. And as far as suicides are concerned, like I was saying, that is a very extreme step. And if particular ask about this Sushant Singh case, I think it is very premature to consider his death and relate it to a mental health disorder, because there are so many things which are unfolding right now. But yes, there are so many people who are celebrities as well, who are coming up openly and talking about it and addressing. And this is what we have been doing. Like we have been inviting such celebrities in our show and make them speak about their struggle and make them speak about their overcome. How did they overcome their struggle? How did they overcome their stigma? How did they overcome their whole journey? And then what they are. So it kind of motivates people, that is for sure. And the same thing can be done with regular people as well. It's like, we can talk about our own journey to people nearby us, and we can talk to a journey of our journey, people whom we are surrounded with. So I don't think there is any vast difference between celebrities and a non-celebrity thing, until and unless you are ready to accept it, and until and unless you are ready to face it.
I have one question here. The person who's going through a mental disorder, and now, somebody like you advise him or her that, okay, you open up, you talk, you share your feeling. What he need to do, because he is in big stress, he is in totally, chaos inside, and what he need to do, prepare himself to open up, This is very painful for him, must be.
I think that's a very brilliant question you have asked, sir. So, a person.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Pushing my mute this time. Sorry. Yes, sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
No problem. So I was saying, like, a person who is already not in a good zone, so it becomes very difficult for him to open up. But at the same time, if he just admits that he's not in a good zone, so people around him will help him or her to open up. If I have a client with me, I'll not make him sit in front of me and tell me, batao, kya hua hai? There are various techniques, there are various tricks where even a simple person can follow it. Like if you know a person who is not in a good health, I'm sure you will not go and jump into the questions, and you will not bombard him with the questions, kya hua, kaise hua, ye hua, wo hua. You will just, first of all, you will give him or her his space, which is very, very much required. Once he gets the space, and then you try to, address the issue which is bothering him. Of course, it's not an easy task for anyone to come up immediately what is bothering him or her, but he has to open up. He has to accept the thing that if whatever is happening for me, and whatever is going to happen, and whatever the result is coming out of it, it's going to benefit me. So one, that thing is very clear in my mind, then it'll be it'll become very easy for me to open up. It'll become very simple for me to talk about. Of course, like there are so many things attached to it, there are so many theories attached to it, but once I'll start admitting myself that I definitely need to do something about things which are bothering me, and I have to do something for my betterment, it won't be too difficult for me to open up. And then if you feel that I am ready to talk about it, you can definitely seek a help, and counselors and therapists, they have their own way to figure out what is happening with you and why things are happening with you, and then they can actually describe and understand what the problem is and suggest you what would be the next course of action. But first of all, you have to be very sure that whatever is happening because of me, and whatever is happening or whatever the outcome is going to benefit me. Until and unless you are very reluctant with these two things, it will be very difficult for any person to talk about it or share about it.
Right. But
So,
sometimes
can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Basically, okay, Kanchan, I'm Sunita Trivedi, and my question is that everybody has these OCDs, these small things which are like ticks in your brain. I mean, like you have to have say a table mat in a particular way only. You have to have the whole house, like especially in these days of COVID, you have to have the whole house clean at least 5 times with different chemicals and this and that and whatever. So are these also an indication of some mental instability, I can say, or a little mental disorder? I mean, like the whole day you're just picking your other half that, okay, don't sit like that and don't put the newspaper in this way and whatever. So is it like also part of being mentally not there?
No, that is
That's a
like
great question, actually. We all suffer from it.
Very, very good question. And also, I might want to add that if you're married if both of you think completely differently and one of you is OCD and the other not.
no. This is not at all a mental problem. This is a behavior problem, to be honest. This is
What
a
problem?
behavior, or this is a nature which one has. And individuals have individual natures. Like, you can't compare two things. It's good, like, if you are 1% is only on that side and 1% is not. I think that way you are blessed enough. Please count it as a blessing. Because if two of them are on the same side, then it becomes extremely difficult for both of them to cope up. So yeah, that is like a blessing you guys have. And if coming to the point, like, getting over obsessive about something, like especially cleaning or keeping things in a particular way, that is not a mental problem, but that is absolutely a behavior problem. But sometimes behavior problem do convert into a mental problem as well. So you have to create, and of course there is a very thin line between it, and you have to be very, very careful that your behavior is not affecting your mental abilities, or it is not creating any hindrance in your mentality. So until and unless it is a behavior thing, it's absolutely fine. Like, we all need to have a good and proper things around us. But if you feel that these things, like, if you feel that the table mat is not in a proper place and that is giving you a trigger, and you start shouting and you start creating panic, then there is something which is to be taken care of, and there is something which really needs a good attention.
Anybody else? Any other question? Okay, Kanchan, I noticed so you said that in recent studies, you noticed as the middle class society are really struggling against the depression, wellness, and other psychological issues. Is it that means it's a lot to do with the economics that makes one go through even more than perhaps the normal people?
No, actually, I think, of course, what you are saying is absolutely true, but this is like a half truth. Of course, middle class people are suffering, and they are more prone for mental health problems. It's because they are struggling more. But
Yes.
this is not just limited to one segment of people. Mental health is for everyone. If you see a farmer
Yes.
who commits a suicide, so it is his mental a health problem, or I would say it is like the physical problem which triggered his mental health, and then he took such a drastic step of committing suicide. If we talk about celebrities, they have everything in the place. They don't have any financial issues, they don't
Yeah.
have any social issues, still they commit suicide. So mental health can't be defined to one segment of people. It is there for everyone. But
But
yes, but the larger community is in India. The larger community is the middle class community, and that's why the impact on middle class is much more in terms of say people wise. To say impact is equally in the three segments. There is no more, there is no less segment, but as such, we have huge number of middle class people. That's why the impact seen, which right now is very huge.
Yes, also because of economic problems and all created by this threat of coronavirus.
Right.
No, but that's also, don't you agree, Kanchan, that that is also because you tend to evaluate more middle class people than you do the higher class. So your stats are not equal across the board. I think I'm a student of psychology, and I'm currently at King's College London, and in fact psychosis is what I'm studying right now. And they are talking about yes, it's the lower classes, the socio-economic vulnerable people that are really prone to this. And yes, you said rightly that even the high class can be prone to it. Psychosis is across the board, it can be anybody. But I think to say that, it's more in the middle class and less elsewhere is a hypothesis only. It cannot be quantified. I don't know. Do you have any evidence-based studies to say that?
I said exactly the same thing, ma'am. See, I was saying this thing cannot be just distinguished in class wise. Mental health is for everyone. It seems more in middle class right now because the population of middle class is more in India. This is what my concept was. Like we have seen deaths in farmer, we have seen deaths in celebrities, we have seen people committing suicide of middle class. But the population of middle class in India is more than of higher class and a lower class. That's why this seems like a bigger problem of middle class rather than any other class in
Yeah.
India.
So it cannot be compared, basically.
Not at all, not
Yeah.
at all. That's
Yeah.
what I was
Cannot
saying.
be compared.
Like a farmer is also committing suicide, a celebrity is also committing a
Exactly.
suicide.
Cannot be
And a
compared.
person, yeah, even a person who is doing a job is also committing suicide. So we can't compare these things and we can't distinguish them. But yes, in India, we have service society or the class of service people, those who are doing service on a much higher level, like population wise. So this seems like very much into that particular segment of people. But mental health is for each and every segment, even for children, even for adult, even for young, everyone.
So a lot also depends on how your makeup is. Some people can take it and some people can't take it. Is that also there, that some are strong to be able to overcome it and some don't? Well,
So
very interesting.
it's about the support which you are seeking, and it's about the help you are, and it's about the how open you are. So if I know I'm not feeling good, and I'll be quiet enough, and I'll just keep on suppressing myself, I'll not speak about it. End of the day, that thing is going to pile up. It is not going to help me, but that is going to worsen the situation where I am into. But if I'll show a bit of courage, and if I'll go and ask for the help, and if I'll try to
Yes.
vent out whatever is bothering me, then things may, or the situation will get into a U-turn, or things will start bettering up. So this is about how open you are.
That means you have to really talk about it and not feel that, as we have the stigma, we won't talk about it, don't want to be open. But if you are, then that perhaps can help greatly. That's
Right.
actually in the West, they talk about it very openly. There's no problems, no? But in India, sometimes you get people keep
But
it
I
to
guess,
don't come, and that way they get more suppressed and more depressed into themselves.
but I guess India is also doing very well. Like people have at least started addressing the issue. Like we have a issue which is mental health. I'm so glad that people have started addressing, maybe just with a name, but they have started talking about it. Of course, it has a very deeper, and it has a very many other significance are attached to it. But I'm glad that people have at least started addressing about the mental health things.
I have one question that, sometime, the person who's, suffering from mental problem, he doesn't find a suitable atmosphere within his house to speak. Normally it happens, with the rich people or celebrity and these kind of people. And, if you're in that bracket, you don't find people like, which are really friend of yours, they're just known to you. They're just, following a social kind of a responsibility, being a friend or something like this. They're not real friends. So then in that situation, what he will do, because he's not finding a proper atmosphere at his house to open up, because he has a one or two member living with him, or he doesn't find any good friends or a real friends to open up. What he will do in that kind of situation? This is
In
actually
that,
really happening, actually, I believe so.
that's very true. And for that thing, there are many groups like a common interest group, or there are many groups where you can just you can join those groups. No one knows you there, and no one asks about your identity there. You can go you can go anonymously there, and you can just talk and speak up. There are so many online groups as well, where you don't have to picture yourself, where you don't have to identity. You can just go and talk and listen. And these groups are really really very helpful for person those who feel that I can't go out and talk in public, but still I have to vent out, and I need to talk about it. There are many groups. You can join any of these groups, or of course I'm sure whatever we may say or whatever we may do, but there are some people in our family, there are people nearby you who are always available for you, just a phone call away, or just a text away. Maybe you can't have their physical presence, but emotional presence is always there. You can utilize that thing. Social media is a very good platform. Like you can talk to a person whom you wish to, or whom you feel connected to, whom you feel attached to. If he's not there physically, but you can have a video call, you can have a voice call with him or her to share exactly what is going on and what you are feeling about it.
Very true. Ma'am, how many questions are left now, Mrs. Napa?
How many?
Like
Hello, any other questions your members wish to ask? Any other?
Kanchanji, would you say that all mental health problems are treatable and improvable, or do you think there are some which are not?
Everything is possible.
Yeah, sure.
And in
Yeah,
the case of,
everything is possible.
in India, because it's not a very done thing even now, as you said, awareness is going up. How does one choose, or how does someone choose which psychologist to go to, or which counselor or therapist to see, who to trust, who's on the same wavelength? How do people choose all this?
Very difficult, Vivek.
That is actually very difficult, and that is like a matter of your own self. Like if you are going to counselor, if I talk about counselor, you go to one counselor, you go to second counselor, you go to third counselor. So the more you will keep on changing, it will become very difficult for you to open up, because we are very clear with our thoughts when we talk first time. If I have to keep on saying one thing continuously, I'll definitely miss 1 or 2 points. So you have to be very sure, like if you are opening up to a person, give him or her a time, and a proper background check is very important, because these days you'll find there are so many people who are considering themselves as a life coach, or they are a mental health coach, and they are this, they are that. So you have to be very careful about the background, what they have, and you can always ask about their you can always ask about the work. Of course, they'll not share the name, because that is absolutely prohibited for a serious coach not to share, because privacy is extremely important in our profession. But they can actually tell you this is what they have done, and if you feel that you have a bit of trust in it, go ahead. And then of course, the more you will talk, the more you will understand how and what direction you are moving. And wavelength, that's a very important thing. If your wavelength matches, then definitely go ahead and give it a proper shot, 100% try.
I just have one last question to ask you, Kanchan. I just want to know, what is the difference between a coach and a psychologist? Is there a difference between both?
Yes, because a psychologist has a very thorough knowledge of psychology. If we talk about coaches, they have very thorough knowledge about emotional health. They are very much trained to, figure out or find out what is triggering emotionally. Whereas psychologists, they have a very different theory. They work upon the brain, and coaches, they have like, a specialization in emotional traumas and emotional beings.
So how does that help? Because you need to have both together, don't you?
Depends from a person to person, as I said. Like if you have if you are at a very initial stage where you have to just figure out what is going wrong with you, you can go to a counselor or a coach. And if you feel that you are feeling something which is really visible enough or physical enough, you have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. So this is how things work. You can't go to a psychologist or psychiatrist just saying that I don't feel good.
They must be working with the medicines, the chemicals and all this kind of things.
No,
Right.
there's something called behavioral therapy also that is worked with. It's not
That
only
is
medicine.
that is part of a coach or a counselor you are going to, because as I said, behavior thing or emotional things, they are part of a coaching thing.
No, even the psychologist does it.
Psychology is a very vast subject. We coaches are like a diploma holder, and psychologists are like a degree holder.
Okay. That's it. Any more questions?
I have one question.
Thank you for the effort. That was great.
That, so may I, anyone has any other question?
No, really.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
How much longer is going to last?
Excuse me, may I request our the past President Deepak Verma-ji to please give a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Surendra ji. I trust you can all hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Excellent. Kanchan, thank you very much for your excellent talk. I truly admire the way that somebody with your excellent academic background has come here and decided to dedicate her life to dealing with this very widespread problem in our society. I think you made a number of excellent points over the course of your speech and over the course of the answers that you delivered to the very many perceptive questions that people asked us. You made the point about understanding that health is not just physical, it's holistic, it's mental and physical. You talked about the need for openness, and you also identified various indicators that suggest an individual has a mental health problem. And of course, you encouraged everybody with your appreciation and your understanding of how this problem exists and how to deal with it. It's very clear that this is a widespread problem in Indian society, and that there is both a social stigma as well as a lack of awareness amongst people that they have a problem and that it can be dealt with. I think it's also unfortunate, and this is my strong belief, that there is a paucity of people who are trained to sort of counsel and help with this profession, and there's also not enough certification of the quality of advice that you get. I think one of our members, I think it was Vivek, asked this very good question about how do you determine who to go to for a problem. And I just wish there was a better way to assess quality and a better sort of form of certification in the system. But anyway, I guess as this profession evolves, more and more good things will happen. So at the very end, let me again thank you for your excellent talk. It was very illuminating, and all the very best to you going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanchanji. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank
Kanchanji,
you.
so much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very good to have this interaction with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I'll sign off. I have a session right now.
Many
It was
thanks
lovely
again.
being there. Thank you.
Once again, thanks a lot. And thanks to all the dear members for joining and attending this wonderful session. Have a great weekend and greetings for Eid and Raksha Bandhan. And see you next week.
Vivek, how's your daughter now?
Ashok, thank you very much. She's back home after a week in hospital. She's recovering.
Ma'am, I think we'll have to do the customary national anthem. I don't know.
Yes.
No.
After the last week's fiasco, I don't know whether we should
I have
actually
to
attempt
observe
that.
the meeting, so we had to do the national anthem.
Did you actually call out the meeting, or was it just a program?
So everybody has to stand up, huh?
I guess.
So we all can.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you.
Good, thank you. It was nice.
Great job, Rajiv.
Nice meeting. Thank you.
So, Hinder ji,